I just came up with this language for this, but it's right to left thinking. Because typically most people I've dealt with operate from left to right. So if you're looking at a Gantt chart schedule, the typical approach is, well, we've got our backlog of business, and I've got my guys, my equipment, my tools, and then we're just going to work left to right, do the best we can. And then at the end of the month, hope things work out well. And then typically it doesn't. So typically they have cash flow problems, or there are things that get delayed, and they have scheduling problems, and all these other issues. So one of the things that I did several years ago was establish a revenue target for each month, like just for cash flow purposes. We've got to have this many dollars come in every month. I don't care how we do it, but to solve our cash flow crunch, we have to have this. And we work from right to left, break that into weekly targets, and then break those weekly targets into project weekly targets. And then you know the what or the how much, and then you start pulling levers and building the machine that'll get you there. Like maybe you need to staff up, maybe you need to outsource, maybe you need to subcontract. But that, very much like what you're talking about with scheduling, you can do the same thing with your revenue and figure out not only what do you need to get accomplished, but what are your targets for the year, for the month. And you can do the same thing as not only with revenue, but with quality, safety.
Yeah, you do it with everything. That is, I love that. I love that.
It's a different way of thinking. And really, there's probably a lot of other industries where that's the natural tendency. But with us, we have so many variables. Maybe it's like, well, we're just going to go in and start this project. We're very start centric. We're very focused on starting, and just, well, we'll figure it out when we get there, because, we're firefighters and we're smart guys, and there's weather and all this other stuff. And I've seen it so many times where projects run long. Companies have cash flow problems because they're working from left to right versus right to left. So that's when I talk to people about that, the lights really go on.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think about it. Even when I had my own business, I didn't think that way. It took me a long time to figure that out. But that's something that I found to be extremely helpful.
Reverse engineer your business. And I love that right to left thinking or planning. That is so good. Take your revenue, increase it by 15%. That's the target revenue. Divide by the number of employees to get your revenue per employee. Because you don't know any other numbers. You haven't tracked anything else, but you probably know your total revenue and the number of employees. Divide that out per quarter, and then break it down and look at January. Do those numbers match up? Do you need to increase productivity? Do you need to just sell more? Do you need to hire somebody else? And knock out January's numbers. If you don't, then increase February's number, So I love that. That's great. And I also teach my clients to say, a lot of times, especially when they're subcontractors, the general contractors say, when can you start? And I say to tell them, well, what does it matter when we start? When do you want us to finish? Because we're not going to be able to start next week. You want warm bodies on the job site? No. But if you need to be done 8 weeks from now, if that's really the target date, which is what everybody wants, right? They want to be done. They don't, and work it back. But you're a genius, dude. Right to left. I love that.
I don't know about genius. Genius would have figured that out probably when I was 25 years old instead of 18 years later. That
profound, maybe then I'll say it's very profound. You're a profound man, Todd.